Hey guys, it is the dude who talks and welcome to today's video. So for today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming new album from Katatonia called City Burials, which is their 11th album following on from 2016's effort called The Fall of Hearts. So City Burials is out on the 24th of April through Peaceville Records. So, a little bit about Katatonia. I'm only going to go into brief detail because I imagine people watching this will already know who Katatonia are, and I can imagine people in the comments going, yeah, you got that wrong, pal, so I'm just going to keep it simple. So yeah, they formed in 1991 by Jonas Renks and Anders Nyström, who are the only two original members of the band. They're joined by current members Niklas Sandin on bass, Daniel Molin on drums, and Roger Odgerson on guitars. Now, I've more than definitely got those pronunciations wrong, so please correct me in the comments. So, a fun fact about Katatonia is that Mikael Ackerfeldt actually joined them on vocals. If you don't know who he is, he's from Opeth. And he joined them on the album Brave Murder Days, where they were a bit more of a death doom metal band. So that being said, they were initially a death doom band, but however, over the years they kind of changed to a much more melodic sound with more progressive elements, and also with part being with problems with Jonas's vocal cords. So what did I actually think about City Burials? Did I really like it, or would I rather have listened to the other Katatonia, spelt with a C, with the smash hit single Road Rage? Let's find out. But before we do, don't worry, this isn't like an advert for Raid's Shadow Legends. I'm gonna confess and say I haven't really heard much of Katatonia stuff before this album, so if I'm not comparing it to the other stuff or sound a bit unaware of them, their actual sound, that is why. So now let's get into it. The first song off the album is called Heart Set to Divide and starts off with a really quiet atmosphere, and the vocals also take charge on this song, especially for the first minute, and then it builds up into this nice Opeth style riff, and yeah, from that moment I was sold. And from watching my videos, probably you can guess that I am a sucker for a good album opener. So yeah, we're off to a promising start here. I also thought that Heart Set to Divide had a really standout chorus, which is helped by this like really nice guitar hook throughout, and it makes the song really catchy, well, the chorus anyway. And I can imagine people singing along to the chorus if this song is performed live. And also I can imagine that they open up with this song live if they ever tour when everything goes back to normal. Yeah. So following on from Heart Set to Divide is Behind the Blood, which is this like really like bold rock and roll number, which I reckon could serve as a crowd pleaser if they perform this live. And I think it's one of the songs they released before this album on as a video. Anyway, what I liked about it was that the guitars really shine on this song, especially with the hooks, and there is also a couple of solos which are really decent on this song. And also, what I've noticed was that Jonas' vocals really stand out on this song. From listening to this album throughout, I definitely felt that Jonas's vocals were a bit reserved on this album. However, there is a lot more variation on this song with his vocals. There are a few tracks similar to Heart Set to Divide and Behind the Blood, which in my opinion I found to be the most engaging on the album, especially with the song Rain. What I liked about this especially was the way it played with the dynamics, having like really slower mellow passages and then interspersing them with heavier moments where the guitars really kicked in. This was definitely evident on this like really menacing chorus on Rain. Also, I want to give a nod out to Neon Epitaph, which has this like really cool Tool-esque feel to the whole structure of the song, and for me that really stood out for me on the album. I definitely thought it was like the strongest song on the album in my opinion. So while the album has quite a few confident, heavier numbers, which are much more guitar driven, in a couple of songs the guitars do take a back seat on some of the songs. They were still there, don't get me wrong, but there was like much more use of keyboards, and there was quite a few times where the vocals were right up in the mix and definitely took charge. Now, I'm not complaining as such. I feel like this is definitely Katatonia's sound, and I think they were there to add much more atmosphere and variety to the album. So yeah, I feel like I didn't get this right away, and it took me quite a few listens to get me to get to grips with it. And I feel like this is the perfect time to lead off into what I didn't like. While there wasn't any outright bad songs on the album, there were a couple of instances where they take some quite bold choices. And as I mentioned earlier, leading off into what I didn't like, the guitars on a couple of songs do take a back seat. Now this is evident on Lacquer, where the guitars are abandoned entirely and they go for a much more electronic feel on this song, which I can definitely see where they were going with this. However, it just felt a bit poppy for my tastes, especially with the emphasis on the vocals and not much emphasis on the instrumentation. I would have loved to see them double down a bit more on the electronic side of things, just to give it that much of an atmosphere. However, on repeated listens, the song really did grow on me. So I also want to mention Lachesis, which I definitely thought did a much better job of what Lacquer was trying to do. However, as soon as the song gets interesting, it just ends, and I just thought, I thought it was just there to serve as an interlude where it could have been something a bit more. And also, I know this is going to sound a bit harsh, that there was a couple of songs that just were a bit forgettable for me, especially Vanishes and Flicker. However, Vanishes is quite redeemed with the really decent chorus that kind of made me think of Sigur Rós. So overall, I thought City Burials was an album that I didn't get straight away, especially with the songs I enjoyed. Though the more listens I gave it, the more it grew on me. So it was definitely a grower, not a shower. I felt the album was very bold in its direction, even though with some of the parts that I didn't like, but I think it was them just taking more risks. For me, it was a very strong album, with some really good songs on it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, bar a couple of things that I had issue with, obviously, earlier. So I gotta ask you this question. What album would you recommend me to go back and listen to, having now listened to City Burials? So yeah, recommend me in the comment section. So that was me talking about City Burials by Katatonia. Are you thinking of picking this album up on the 24th of April? Please let me know down below in the comment section. Like always, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. And yeah, I'm also on Facebook if you fancy giving that a like. I'm posting stuff there more frequently now. And I'm also on Instagram, so links to that will be included on the description box. So all I've got left to say to you guys is, I hope you're keeping well. I've been the Doo Talks. You guys are fucking awesome. See you later. Still here. Alright, well the video's ended, but while you're still here, I'll just let you know there's videos to the left and right of me. So, yeah, get watching if you want. Talk about cool shit like music and live stuff where I go to gigs, talk about Vinyl Hall and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, fill your boots.